Answer never in the story so no misre nyanso na tie me. And the Ghana for bebre yare a ekuyen eye stroke, diabetes, cancer, heart disease. Na saa yare we ni na no. The underlying factor eye ade a wo broni friend visceral fat. Now her screen is so a we eye doctor a website. Now what trust say visceral fat. Visceral fat wraps around your organs, creating inflammation and interfering with organ function. This fat causes a big belly. Now one thing about visceral fat and it's engrofo Rebecca, oh yebenu me bibidru ebema yefu atwe, yebenu me dru ebema mefu atwe, visceral fat no oboa, obi obeka dozo we dru bia obenum na wefu atwe no oboa. Because belly fat no e dru bia ni ho ebetumi amana akofom. You only lose belly fat when you decide to lose weight. Na me ti he, mi obi a na first me obi belly fat no na me obi visceral fat no na me obi. Ena ende mini ohwa mefu atwe. Na enyama me ye no eye method bi a me friend no the WWE method. Me dia throw book no or comment box ni mo. So open book ni bi ato a eno ane se wa click comment box ni mo na tre se what to book no. And na screen so book ni din eye your action plan for weight loss. Na wa click na wa pe book no ato. Ye kan eduro eye duane a ye di. Obi a wo be ka tro so ye pe eduro be ma ye fu atwe bia no me se oboa. Mesrew eduro ye duane e bedi. Nti metre we duane a obedi ni na wo book nim ene nyama e wo se wo ye. Nti no get the book and then live healthy. Yanko in the story so. Mimo obi bia kwaba eba Melodies TV so. There is a breaking news coming through right now. And it is coming from the Office of the Special Prosecutor. Now, say during week we and I'm a say FBI for ama clearance almost say Ofori Atta or questions answer. FBI for clearance our mind no and no hunti omo be penny omo ye processes no mu di so de. Now so omo be penny na Ofori Atta ya extraditing no e na bagana na waba be answer questions. Now and another person na oye advisor to Ofori Atta or no so you declare wanted. But nipa we ye nipa bi anan krofo bebre na enim no. Into the Office of the Special Prosecutor has today declared Ernest Darko Akore. This is the first time I'm even hearing of his name. So he has been declared wanted and the airqua. I've done a little search on the background, and so we are going to look at his background and see any academic credentials and all those things. What he has here, but basically, no, he has been declared wanted. I don't know whether he's also in Ghana or not, but because he declared wanted, the natural say be a Ghana. So just as Ofori Atta is not in Ghana, no, so ni Ghana. Into Ernest Darko Akore. Date of birth 5th February 1958. Age with 67 years. Bema and Bibia nationality possibly a dual Ghanaian American national, has held an American passport in previous years. Okay. It's reasons are here searching on any. The suspect, a former chef de cabinet, technical advisor, not just any position, chef de cabinet, not just a chef de cabinet, not just a technical advisor. Also, a former chef de cabinet, technical advisor at Ghana's Ministry of Finance is wanted in relation to ongoing investigation on corruption and corrupt-related offences concerning the revenue assurance contract between the Ghana Revenue Authority and Strategic Mobilization Limited (SML). Into SML deal ya and one samaba bebre no eno ena echo na you see sa SML deal we what it has actually done is it has exposed some journalists in this country. Now apparently, and it is an allegation made by a lot of people. Apparently, SML they have a lot of people in the media to speak on their behalf. Why? Because apparently, no, you who say some top journalists in this country are on their payroll. Now, so SML deal no be a want yas no. Yen in the simplest form. Okay, under Ofori Atta, and I was signing a deal with company be from Strategic Mobilization Limited. Na nkrofo no mo Ghana ye oil sector. Fango nsensem no what you say. Na ejuma na nkrofo yi allegedly ni yesi wo mo enye no. Experts say Ghana Revenue Authority for eye ejuma ne deda. It is a deal na Ofori Atta akwa sign no. Deal na was sign say nkrofo yi $100 million every single year bia ye beti omo $100 million. Na Ofori Atta sign deal no allegedly for 10 years. During a year, an election year, and almost sign a deal no for 10 years. Into investigations called deal ni muno. Any who say, a juma ye say nkrofo na nye no. Ye juma bi a Ghana Revenue Authority for ye deda. Into sa nkrofo ikra no. Ye nhia wo mo. Ye ni na ye tifie. Efie na ye team no. Ye pe obi ama ni bako na aba be den wa aba be do fie aye den ama yen. Ye obi a wodi sa ejuma ne deda. Ye mfa ne se anopa bia no oba baako eye sa ejuma ne deda. Ti kasa na America no. Efie aye ni na ye team no. Wo mba miensa. Oma ni ni na wo mo ye fie ejuma. Obi asori anopa, obi be pra, obi be do, obi be twitwi nyamem. Nti mba miensa anopa bia ye sori a ejuma e wo se obi aye no no. Eya ade bia efie no obi anim. One day ye wo ho a oba bia ni ho a wo yare. Boninto wo ba bia one day ye ba be sorry ya. Papa ne se wakwa akofa maid oba aba fie ho. Oba asebe ni mpokua ne ni mpokua gina so. Utumu nze da bi oba we de osin maid. Nanso ukunu se wakwa akofa maid aba fie ho. Maid ne be ye den ya osi o osori anopa bia wo betwitwi nkuku nim. O se na se akola na ye baba ko a wono ye mba miensa ye baba ko a wono twitwi nkuku nim no. Ogusu ye. Onyare ye. On complaining se obeja ye. Ade na wo sanso ko fo obi aba. Ye ba na wo ye ne ye ntia nika. Oye ye ba. Ade na wo ko fe obi aba. Na sanso aba be boye ka. Na every month e wo si ye tia nipa kronika. Na twese papa no o wa adwin bi. Ebi a girl no ne no hyehye ho. Intia na washa da aba be fa na aba fie ho. Fie ha sa ebe ye easy ama. Because ejuma ode na eba se oba be ye no. Ejuma no ye deda. Oba ne nso ade a ye kan kra na nka oba ne kra no. Oye kra sen nipa ko na ya akwa na aba no. Inti there is an ulterior motive. So basically, sa SML deal we. Ehun sem ni na ani o. Ejuma yesi wo mombra mbe ye no. Ghana Revenue Authority for eye deda. And that's what the experts said. We all watched the documentary. Now so Ofori Atta ko sign a deal with nkrofo 10 years. $100 million every single year. Na ye nkrofo ye kwakwa hair ekra no. Omo nhede ni omo office. I mean, according to the documentary no. No more office, no more nyama krano, and share down setting the apps. And one thing about our company we kran say, no money proud a year working experience bia. Omunye nkrofobia beka so okay, juma ye de asho mo nsa no. No mo ye say juma ne de dansa na Ofori Atta e de contract ne ba be mo dabi. Omunye say juma ne da. Company na wo mo register no na esi timba juma bi no mo ye. A fine here, how they even won that contract, lucrative contract, and all those things. No, a different matter altogether. Inti I know, sa investigation so enende e kan hu bi mande Ofori Atta enye me yare a wona ma brochi no investigation we kan hu bi. Inti yes the technical advisor. And the funny thing about our deal we and say. Omo ye empenyifo ano omo ye ejuma o Ghana Revenue Authority ana se ejuma we no ehye omo nsa na still omo ye no dudu na no around the time Ofori Atta ne company we sign a deal no dudu na no ejai Ghana Revenue Authority eba be ye ejuma masa company we. Yes, it's fine. Me say sa SML scandal na me say Ghana for ne ye nya time amano na nka nya time as SMO scandal ne ka Ghana fo be hu ne say hey dodo na jai ejuma no Ghana Revenue Authority I say omo yes ejuma dodo na deal we ye sign deal ni wie ya Africa Ghana Revenue Authority mpanyifo ni bi because sikaba dodo na jai ejuma na aba be ye ejuma ma company we into the technical advisor was signing sa eye enkrata no ono enende ne ho atre no ono nende ye declare no wanted but send ya mekan no si yenye declare no wanted there then it personally means say he might actually not be in Ghana because for him to be declared wanted that means say bia woni Ghana incha na declare no. You understand what I'm saying? Now yen konsem ni mu na yen kenkan eye the air coso. But basically, I'll say a suspect, a former chef de blah blah blah. No. We'll read the comments, but let us look at his background. Let's look at his history, his professional career, and all that. I've done a little digging on him. I used AI to do some digging on him. Into the background, into exactly the date now. Yes, 67. As of July 2025, he's a Ghanaian, previously held American citizenship, dual Ghanaian American, or America, because or American citizen, and education, bachelor's degree in business administration from Whittier College, California, USA, master of business administration from the Graduate School of Management, United States International University, San Diego, also known as Alliance International University. Actually, say the schools are wakoeka one school bia wa Ghana. Abrochi enoko ni school ni na. That's quite interesting. Ne professional and career history. Early US banking career. Into Bank of America, California, began as a management trainee and spent approximately 4 years building foundational banking skills. Into to me when they say, okay. Wells Fargo Bank, but Papa no yobi a wabo brao like ohwe baby a waye ejuma ni school a wakọ ne baby a wo ejuma. Charlie, this country I don't know. Anyway, Wells Fargo Bank, California, also took a middle management position, spending about 11 years in roles that deepened his operational and leadership experience in banking. Transitioned to Africa from 2001 onward. Also 2001 to 2004, the Gambia appointed Chief Operating Officer at Trust Bank Limited, then distressed, leading its restructuring and turnaround efforts. Into 2001 to 2004, Okoye Juma wa Gambia. There is something about Ghana and Gambia that I think it's not being talked about, right? There's something about Ghana and Gambia that we once a day Ghana, yes, Ghana, Nigeria, but there is some similarities between Ghana and Gambia that a lot of Ghanaians don't know of. In fact, a lot of Ghanaian lawyers said they train you Gambia. A lot of Ghana lawyers work from Hano. So moko Ghana law school no, and now mo apply na law school na form makola and form no moko training no Gambia, and they are able to practice after that in Ghana. So I don't know, but as a yene Gambia for was some similarities bia yen Ghana for the crying. Inti papa no yesi 2001 to 2004. Oye juma wo Gambia bank bia near friend the Trust Bank Limited. Right? 2004 to 2014, 10 years in Oba Ghana. At ya say, and the Oba be juma or Databank. And ya say, and ya say no. In the 2004 to 2014, Oba Ghana ever be juma or Databank. That's quite interesting. Into Oba juma or Databank or joining Databank Financial Services Limited, where he became Executive Director of Retail Services Unit and later Executive Director at Databank Brokerage under the wider Databank Group. Okay. Databank Brokerage, not just he was dealing with the stock exchange, right? Because Databank Brokerage, what I know about them, they say, They invest in the Ghanaian Stock Exchange, not only the Ghanaian Stock Exchange, but some other West African stock exchanges as well. And you know, Obabe Yejuma Databank. So that was more like the connection he sort of had with Ken Ofori Atta. So 10 years working in Databank, 2004 to 2014. That's interesting. Into consulting and advisory roles. I'll say around 2014, he resigned from Databank and established his own consultancy practice. Wow, that's quite interesting. In 2014, or working here 10 years, we are at Databank no. And ono ankasa etene ho ekokote ono ane company consultancy practice. As featured as lead consultant on restructuring Women's World Banking Ghana Limited before transitioning to government advisory into Oyejuma a restructure Women's World Banking Ghana Limited. Now, o share the credential. O to me say papa no or credentials no. What you say? O share na ejuma na nyama wa ya. Onye san microphone abeka so they didn't have the track record, and then MPP aban by na yedi omo ba be share mu no. Dabi o share he built himself from that until he came. I say government advisory and board roles working with Ken Ofori Atta. As formerly a technical advisor, often styled chef de cabinet to the Minister for Finance in Ghana, acting in effect as Ken Ofori Atta's aide within the ministry. It's basically no, yesena or ye Ken Ofori Atta ni aide. It's dear Ken Ofori Atta ye ewo finance ministry bi na papa we onimhubi. No one na nenam one na ye. Ati asye. You know, I don't know. Sometimes the question is that, so where did they get it wrong? Because any American, you see, before Ken Ofori Atta even became a politician, he was an astute investor. Okay, let me tell you, I'm not going to sit here and lie. Let me show you something. When him say media, when you talk about investment, especially in Ghana, the stock exchange and the likes, no, I'm not going to lie to you. See, let me tell you the truth. Ken Ofori Atta's bank, the Databank, is one of the best, if not the best. Put Yenfa politics into Nchain. It is actually the best investment institution in Ghana. Okay? Even proud to MPP coming to power, it was always the best investment institution. One, if not the best, it was one of the best investment institutions in Ghana. And I'm going to show you so you understand, right? Now, let's look at mutual funds, okay? Institutions that provide mutual funds in this country. Now, look at Ken Ofori Atta's Databank. Ken Ofori Atta Databank. The Databank EPAC Investment Fund Limited. In Ken Ofori Atta and the Databank, no, they have a lot of investment packages. They have an investment package BIFNO, Databank EPAC Investment Fund. Now, basically, no, the Databank EPAC Investment Fund, no, what they do, they say, they invest. It might sound like I'm advert, but I'm just explaining so you understand. Now, what they do, they say, they invest in the Ghanaian Stock Exchange. You see, individually, if you want to invest in the Ghanaian Stock Exchange, it is very cumbersome. It's frustrating. Answer the create account. SEC for be create CDS account amount. No, it may creating my CDS account, but it took about 6 months. What I say, into one person investing in the Ghanaian Stock Exchange, it is not individual friendly. It is made for institutions. What I say, that's the Ghanaian Stock Exchange. Into be bread. But okwa Ken Ofori Atta and the Databank. Now, Kokatrom say you want to invest in the EPAC investment fund. It is easy. So every month on Betu Sika, then they invest in the Ghana Stock Exchange for you. Not only the Ghana Stock Exchange, but some other performing stock exchanges in West Africa. It will show the performance of the Ken Ofori Atta, the EPAC investment fund now, Databank investment fund now. 6 months, they had 18%, which is extremely good. Extremely good. And in 3 years, they've had 97%. Masa, extremely, every single person will tell you, say, an investment package that is giving you close to 100% in just 3 years, it is a top tier investment, just a package. And a data bank for Ken Ofori Atta and the data bank. Osha my past record, they've always done well. What I say? So basically, no. That is why I'm asking the question, say, what went wrong? especially with Ken Ofori Atta, because the company na a Databank no, their answer na mobile power no, they've always been doing well, especially with investment. So how come the economy ni share womunsa omu to me? What I say, as a woman boy and car. Me, you see, and this is a genuine question. This is not me speaking as an NDC guy. This is a genuine question as a worried Ghanaian. Osha Ken Ofori Atta a technical advisor now. And also, what Osha ni history a. Yeah, try say Gambia for krano. Omo banks bi anomo be say ni say ono ne de ne ye. Women's bank bi ane pe say gina ono ne de ne ye. Ati ase wa bobra ansa no wo ba Ghana. So the question is that where did they get it wrong? What happened? Sikana for from ne ba be wura wo mutrimu ana. Was it comfort? At the end of the day, they became too comfortable, so they thought so more. And I say they were deep into their heads and they thought say, oh, yeni nima de see you behind no, and then they bought more for one because clearly no, share economy wa morani wa Ghana, they failed Ghanaians. So what happened? Again is here. Look at Papa no, the track record. I say, as chef the cabinet in June 2023, he signed a letter on orders attributed to the finance minister, expanding the scope of work. Inti bonia yesi odia ene ama ne ho asem aba no so he declare ne wanted ne say yesi June 2023 no ono no sign a letter. Ken Ofori Atta na man no order ne de na so ono ni signature ne all letter ne so. Inti expanding the scope of work for Strategic Mobilization Limited in Ghana Revenue Authority. In the Ghana Revenue Authority, controversially extending it into oil and mining oversight. Oil and mining oversight. Inti contract na nkasa ye say ono na sign ye we papa na or sign a contract no. That is why ende ono so ho aba asem. That is say Ken Ofori Atta kra na nyo no na sign eh and the way they say asem aka anyway okay say you say on orders of Ken Ofori Atta, so Ken Ofori Atta will be held liable. Or say held a position as non-executive director on Josam Ghana Limited, Achimota School Endowment Trust Fund. Inti se Achimota School Endowment Trust Fund. Actually say Achimota School for almost what investment fund be. Or no na or director. It was our fund so he's an investor. Inti ni school for no. I don't think he went to school at Achimota, right? I'm not seeing it here. But Achimota for you soon. Ghana Telecommunications Company Limited, Vodafone, served on the advisory board of the College of Humanities, University of Ghana. Hey, Mbappe so the post pound. Boards are not this when you ask them. Inaugurated around 2017 as a member of the 9-member board of directors of the Ghana Revenue Authority. Oh! So he was also part of the board of directors of the Ghana Revenue. And that's where their conflict of interest be bro. So the Ghana Revenue Authority board, no, he was part of the members. He was a board member of the Ghana Revenue Authority. And it was the same Ghana Revenue Authority that allowed the Strategic Mobilization Limited and the Ghana Revenue Authority workers, Ekokuye Jumama SML. Hey, Charlie, a conflict of interest in these issues is serious. Hey! So digging am I no in some way DPA there. Say Jana events special prosecutor no near break case we so sir because all these details yeah cry yenim Ghana for ni yenim details we. Wow. That's quite interesting. Now say recent developments to legal stroke investigative status. Also in July 2025, the Office of the Special Prosecutor issued a public arrest warrant for Ernest Darko Akore in connection with suspected corruption in the GRASML revenue assurance contract. Or say, at the time of that notice, he was considered to be a fugitive with possible whereabouts, including the United States, the United Kingdom, Hong Kong, or South Africa. And baby, I say, or no, a bit to me, US, UK, Hong Kong, or South Africa. At I say, and basically, no. Senior Mekaye, I was right. Say he has been declared wanted, probably because he's not in Ghana. and that's the places here say possible so be one no. Now, relationship with Ken Ofori Atta. Let's look at the relationship with Ken Ofori Atta. I'll say Ernest Akore's professional association with Ken Ofori Atta traces back to their time at Databank, where Akore served under Ofori Atta as executive director. Later, when Ofori Atta became finance minister, Akore assumed the role of technical advisor within the Ministry of Finance. And you know, now Oshe Ken Ofori Atta say Databank. Ken Ofori Atta better than minister now or then they say, hey, me no one age more Databank. And listen, I'm not going to sit here to speak against that because as I've told you, material Databank for as I say investment package, how they do well in the sector, as I say, investment sector no. I've shown you how Databank does well. It is a Ken Ofori Atta better than finance minister, no say director Shena say. Or the neighbor finance minister. Obiabeka say or finance ministry or Obiabeka say oh so no oboa ma Databank ni ye into no mbra. Into no. But the question is that what went wrong? How come they got it wrong? That is my question. As the media reports describe him as part of a cohort of former Databank associates brought into the finance ministry by Ken Ofori Atta amid criticisms of nepotism and insider appointments. Into the summary table, so basically that's that. So AI, this is how I'm using AI to get this information. Context of give more on the context. Of the SML contract controversy. Let's see whether we are going to get more on it. We want to get all the information on this matter. So let's get more context on the SML contract controversy. But now we know the role he played. He was the one who signed the deal on orders of Ken Ofori Atta and all that. But it's quite interesting. One say onunso beba bontia because so me so me yare me hospital. But it's interesting, right? These people were in Ghana and they were working for the country. All of a sudden, mulusu and munina mo fly out of the country. Is this coincidence? I don't know. But it sounds too good to be true. And then they see it, then they buy it. You were all in Ghana working fine. Asemba I will be a journey. I don't know. It's something. So here's a detailed overview of GRA SML. As a background, in 2019, the Ghana Revenue Authority entered into a contract with Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited to provide revenue assurance services across downstream petroleum sector and later expanded to upstream petroleum production and minerals and metals value chains by 2023. While media outlets claimed a 10-year agreement worth over 100 million annually, GRA and the Ministry of Finance asserted it was a 5-year contract based on proven performance in downstream audits. As I said, investigations near say a 10-year agreement are 100 million every single. But you see, that's also one thing. It was 2024. 2024. Munim say about to oba. How do you sign a contract for 10 years and bind the incoming government? You see that thing and you enti na Ghana $1 billion enkwa ebe kosa company ba ku we ho aden now in 2023 there was a media expose, a coalition of 5 NGOs in August 2024 seeking to recover over 1 billion Ghana cedis paid to SML. Not to say ye did can create 1 billion Ghana cedis amomo and challenge its status as a supplier under procurement law and absence of parliamentary approval. There were a lot of issues with that SML. No? Parliament approve it. As procurement laws, they didn't really go through competitive bidding, allegedly. Into issues with that SML. SML in same way and there Ken Ofori Atta wo journey. And what people don't understand is say, sa SML la same way. President Akufo-Addo Emma KPMG auditing ewo ho. Na KPMG findings are womo ye ni. Or say, no documented needs assessment undertaken prior to contract award. KPMG for assessment are womo ye ewo deal ni hu etrese deal no entwa ye. Because womo anye assessment bia na nke woso omo ye, documented assessment bia na woso omo ye no omo anye ene ekoko sai na deal la ye sign ya ye ma wo be 100 million every single year ya anye due diligence ya check documents na deal be ni was one of the first findings at KPMG for and that was why Mekai certain President Akufo-Addo Yanadwe said KPMG audit findings no own release it was something bibi san eba it was, I think, a barter trade or something between NDC MPs and MPP. You can say, "Semu release here." Yensu yenye bibisa. I've forgotten, but ne bibisa. And sana President Akufo-Addo o release the audit report. But the audit report proved, say indeed, deal no problems. Audit report exposed procurement breaches. GRA repeatedly failed to secure, and you see, GRA. This man was part of the GRA board. So you see what was happening. As the GRA repeatedly failed to secure Public Procurement Authority approval for single source contracts and delayed or missing parliamentary ratification for multi-year agreements. Partial value delivery. While downstream petroleum audit services seem to deliver benefits, services like transaction audits and external price verification underperformed. The variable fee model was unusual and led to unpredictable cost. Total payments totaled over 1.06 billion Ghana cedis by audit date. The KPMG auditing no that time no ni etia nkrofo no over 1 billion. Ejuma na yesi omonya kra no. Omonye ejuma ne nkransie. Listen, that's that. Montre mo your comment box nimo. I think say by this you have the full report. Montre mo your comment box nimo. Me that's it.